This is a Willets Point Shea Stadium bound 7 express train. The next and last stop is Willets Point, Shea Stadium.
The Mets invite 10 players to Major League Camp. Outfielder Drew Gilbert, right-hand pitcher Dominic Hamill, left-hand pitcher Nate Lavender. You got Thomas Nido coming back, Eric Orzi, Kevin Parada, Christian Scott, Hayden Sanger, Mike Vassell, and infielder Jet Williams. You've been broadcasting with the Mets organization for a while now, especially in the minor leagues with the Brooklyn Cyclones. So you've seen some of these guys play. Who should the Mets fans be keeping a close eye on this spring?
So I say for immediate impact, the bottom of the left list, the pitchers list, Mike Vassell is probably going to be the guy to taste the majors first. He seems to be the closest one on the trajectory. And Mike's phenomenal. I liked Mike when he pitched with the Cyclones in 22. Big kid, a delivery that kind of looks like, at least just the way his body works, like Garrett Cole. And he pitches like that. He's a bulldog mentality. He's from Boston, so he has an edge to him. And I know Mike's a competitor. Those kind of cliches actually are things. So I do like the way Mike pitches. Christian Scott, though, is another name on the rise. He might not be an April or May starter in the big leagues, but the way he flew up the system, specifically last year, really showed the Mets that he kind of found something. Right-hander from Florida. So I really like Christian Scott. I know Dom Hamill's always been a nasty spin rate king. Had some of the best stuff in the minors. I know Dom's biggest issue, and he'll tell you, is just throwing strikes. And if he could throw strikes, he's really nasty. So that's from the pitching side, because I do think this year in particular, you'll see the younger pitchers more than you'll see the Acuñas of the world. They're very excited to see Luis Angel when he gets up there. And then if you want to switch to the position side, I think Drew Gilbert has a pretty good chance of seeing some big league time this year.
When we go back to the pitchers, and you mentioned Scott, Vassell, and Hamill, do you see them more in a starting role? Could they be guys that come in up here in a relief role? I know the Mets have been signing all these interchangeable relievers and a lot of pitchers with options, but the way the rotation is now and the way the bullpen is now, it could be possible that we might see them either as a reliever or starter, or do you just see them as starters coming up?
Well, they have starter pedigree. I think they're going to be starters. But what interests me about now David Stearns running the Mets is I kind of went back and looked at a couple blueprints of the Brewers and how he used those pitchers, because I'm just kind of interested in how he turned that team into an 85-90 win team every year. And if you look at his teams, he'll have a 6-man rotation most of the time. And specifically 2 guys, Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff, they were minor league starters. They came up as kind of piggybackers. They'd come out of the bullpen in relief. They'd get a taste of it for a year or two, and then they'd be full-fledged starters. And now we know who Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff are, pretty much household names in baseball. So I am interested in seeing if that's maybe a way to get the taste in these guys' mouth to get them comfortable. Because one little wrinkle that's gone on in the last few weeks with David Stearns is you can tell he wants young players to play well and play a lot in the majors. But there's always been, from my time in the minor leagues with the Cyclones and with the Mets organization, it's very difficult. So young players feel there's enormous amount of pressure to perform right away at the big league level, when now those shoes are too big to fill, kind of thing. And so I think that maybe you'll see some relief pitching for those guys if that's the way Stearns ran it in Milwaukee. He might do that in the big leagues here with the Mets.